हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम बैक टू चैनल सिविल इंजीनियरिंग एकेडमी। आज के इस वीडियो में हम कवर करने वाले हैं टॉपिक बेसिक फंक्शनल रिक्वायरमेंट्स ऑफ अ बिल्डिंग। किसी भी बिल्डिंग को डिज़ाइन करते वक्त या फिर कंस्ट्रक्ट करते वक्त कुछ पॉइंट्स हमें ध्यान में रखना बहुत ज़रूरी होता है सो दैट वी कैन प्रोवाइड कंफर्ट टू द ऑक्यूपेंट्स इन द बिल्डिंग। उन्हीं पॉइंट को आज हम इस वीडियो में कवर करने वाले हैं। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। Basic functional requirements of a building. The design and performance of the good building should satisfy the few points like the structure should be strong and sound to resist the normal bonding. Then building should have sufficient stiffness so that its detonation does not reduce the efficiency of the structure to its intended purpose. And the next is, from the performance point of view, the building should be well planned to give the maximum comfort and convenience to the occupants. To provide the basic functional requirement, we must check the few points like comfort and the convenience, dimensional stability, durability, economy, fire protection, heat or thermal insulation, light and ventilation, moisture or damp prevention, security against the burglary, sound insulation, strength and the stability, termite control, etc. We will go and check one by one all the points. So let's start with the first point, that is comfort and the convenience. This is one of the basic requirement of a functional planning of a building. So few points should be kept in mind to achieve this requirement. The first one, building should be provided with enough light during the day or night without any effect of glare. Then a building should be oriented in such a manner to get the maximum benefit of a natural air and light. Due weightage should be given to living, working and health conditions of the occupant of the building. Next is, the grouping of rooms should be so planned so as to ensure the better circulation and optimum utilization of space and maximum efficiency in the building. Now the next factor is dimensional stability. The changes in the dimensions of material or structures are causes because of few factors like elastic and the plastic deformation or creep due to the applied loads, or expansion and the contraction due to the temperature variation or moisture content in the atmosphere, which results into the cracking of the building. Or it may be causes because of the chemical reactions between building materials and moist air. So we must keep some point in our mind while designing the building to prevent the dimensional changes, like the effect of elastic deformation is taken care by considering the effective modulus of elasticity in the design. The effect of plastic deformation is taken into the account by considering proper load factor against the failure in the design. Now the next point is, avoid using the material which are deformed due to the moisture or temperature changes. Then provide unnecessary restraint to shrinkage or expansion of the material. And the last point is, try to use the material which have large extensibility, means a less tensile stress than its tensile strength, to avoid the cracking. Now the next factor is durability. Durability of the structure means a period of time up to which the building remains habitable. Durability of a building depends upon few factors like degree of maintenance, method of construction adopted, types of material used in building, exposure condition to weathering, which is determined by the climate, environment, site aspects and height of building, effect of frost action on exposed building material. Next, crystallization of salts by groundwater movements and the surface of erosion by rainwater. And the next is effect of sunlight on paints, plastic, glass, asphalt, rubber, etc. These are some factors which affects the durability, but to increase and maintain the durability of the building, few steps can be taken, like proper features like projecting eaves, coping, sunshades, cornices, parapets, sills, etc. should be provided in the building to prevent from the rainfall, sunlight, moisture and other exposures of the weather. Next, the proper care is to be taken in the designing of the building, in maintenance of the building, in choice of material and in the protection of the building against weathering effects. Keeping this point in mind, we can increase or improve the durability of the structure. And now the next point is economy. At every stage of a functional planning, designing, construction, maintenance, and the operation of building, economic aspects should be considered. The building should be functionally and the structurally sound as well as should not cost much higher than usual. Now the next factor is fire protection. To protect the building against fire, composite and non-combustible materials should be used in the construction of walls, columns, beams, etc. Also, standard of fire safety or fire extinguishers as specified in the building code should be provided with sufficient and the quick fire exit. The chances of fire can be reduced through adequate planning of building in the horizontal and the vertical direction. Heat and thermal insulation. Properly insulated building cuts down the cost of electric bill in summer as well as in winter. To achieve heat insulation requirements for different types of building, one or the more factors should be adopted, like exterior wall should be thicker which imparts strength to the building and also provide the insulation against heat and cold. Construction of a cavity wall as external wall to protect the building from outside heat or cold, as a hollow space between the two walls act as an insulating material. In the construction of walls, roofs, floors, etc., to fill the air spaces in the construction of material, heat insulating materials like a slag wool, lightweight concrete, rock wool, quilts, mats, foam slag, aggregates should be used. And the building should be provided with the such as canopy, weather shades, veranda, courtyard, trees, gardens, etc. to achieve the heat insulation. And the top terrace of the building should be insulated against the heat economically by using special flooring methods. Now the next factor is light and ventilation. In every building position, number and sizes of doors and windows should be in such a way that sufficient daylight free from the glare comes from the right direction. Sufficient daylight should reach in each and every room of the building to create pleasing environment to work and to live. The designer should also keep in mind the lighting requirement with heat insulation of the building. Now the eighth and most important factor, that is moisture or damp prevention. In order to prevent the entry of damp into a building, damp-proof courses are provided at various levels of entry of damp into a building. At present, practically all the buildings are given the treatment of damp proofing. The provision of damp-proof courses prevents the entry of moisture from walls, floors, and basement of the building. The moisture in building is normally due to the faulty construction, poor materials and workmanship. The moisture gets in the building due to water penetration through roofs or external walls, which is called as a water leakage. The water leakage in the building is the most common problem and is concentrated on the terrace roofs and toilets. Now the next factor is security against the burglary. For the safety of the building, the external walls should be strong enough. Also, windows opening should be protected with the MS grills or by any other means. Sound insulation. It is necessary to give attention to the sound insulation of the building because of the various factors such as increase in the population, change in the habits of the community, increase in the noise pollution, improvement in the building construction practices, etc. The function of the sound insulating construction is to reduce the sound passing through it. Generally, the hard materials are used for the sound insulating material construction. Following few things we can achieve the sound insulation in the building, like the construction of a cavity wall, provision of airtight windows, thick external walls with hard reflecting surfaces, hollow floors over the structural floors, floors with the suspended ceilings, etc. Construction of inner walls using non-homogeneous structure, hollow walls, insulating materials, use of sound absorbent material like fiber boards, mineral wool, airtight doors, etc. reduces the sound transmission through wall partitions. Construction of the floor using sound insulating materials, massive and the rigid floors construction, insulated and the suspended ceiling, etc. reduces the sound transmission through floor. Using sound insulating materials like a cork slab, bitumen, asbestos, compressed slough slab, fiber boards, mineral wool, etc. To achieve acceptable noise level in a building, it should be planned against the indoor and outdoor noises laid down by the standards or as per the zoning regulation. Now the next factor is strength and the stability. The structures should be stable to resist all the loads and all compressive and the tensile stresses coming over it. The load and the working stresses should be calculated in the accordance with the latest design code of India. To achieve the strength and the stability of the building, proper load factor should be applied while designing the structures. Next and the last factor is termite control. The removal of the termites from a building is not an easy task. The termites get rich supplies of the food in the building such as textiles, woodworks, paper products, vegetable products, plastic insulations of wiring, etc. All these items are easily attacked by the termites and their strength and the values are considerably reduced by the termites. It is therefore advisable to adopt the pre-construction techniques of the termite proofing. The post-construction treatments of termite proofing consist of opening earth around the building and treating it with the chemicals, drilling holes in the damaged portions of the masonry and the woodwork, and injecting the chemicals under the pressure, etc. These treatments are costly and complicated and should be carried out through the experts in this field. So these are the all points we have to keep in our mind while the designing and the construction of the building to achieve the basic functional requirements of the building. Thank you so much for watching video. If you like the content of the video, then like it, share and subscribe the channel.